Kebab kebab! Not the best day, eh? It's a rainy day. No, we're really happy about that. Do you want a meat stick? Yummy, yummy meat stick? Put it up here on the bed. Next to his livers. Maybe you come over. Maybe you don't. I love you, sweetheart. Yes, I love you. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Kaiba hopes you liked his video yesterday that we put out in the afternoon of his adventures at the park. Coming up. He's not overly happy because it's a rainy day today. But on the plus side, he gets to snuggle with me most of the day because it was the early shift day. Recording this a day early. So it is Monday, which means tomorrow is Tuesday. And Tuesday means Dollarama Draws of Destiny! Sorry, Kaiba. I thought we'd do something fun today. I have 4 dice here. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll these dice. And the highest number is how many packs I'm going to open. Hopefully we don't just roll a whole bunch of snake eyes, because that's going to make this a really disappointing video. But I thought we'd put it a chance and see what happens. Ooh, we got 5. Alright, so we'll open 5 packs today. And we'll see what we put, how our luck goes. Just grabbing the packs out of the drawer. 3, 4, and that one. 5. Alright. We got our 5 packs. Check to see if any of them are broken. They all look pretty good. Okay. Good time. Cat was up here, enjoying his treats. So, everybody is going to enjoy their beautiful Tuesday, hopefully. Hopefully yours is going good. As I said, today is Monday, but my Monday went well, and I think Tuesday's going to go good too. I get to start an hour early because I am starting to work at becoming the head of the Health and Safety Committee at my job, which is going to be pretty good. Give me a few extra hours. Maybe I won't have to look for a second job, since that's not going super well still. Here we go, pack number 1. Rakdos Pit Dragon. We just finished making dragons. It gets flying until end of turn if you pay 2 red. It gets +1/+0 if you pay 1 red. Has double strike as long as you have no cards in hand. Not the best one ever, but it's okay. Duskdale Worm, Trample, 7/7 for 7. Azorius Gilgig, nice. Ooh, it's got the stamp on it. Pretty. It's probably the one I'll end up using in my deck for that then. Because I do like that little stamp. Ooh, another land. Surtland Frostpire. Enters the battlefield tapped, add red. Sacrifice this, scry 2, deals 2 damage to each creature. You can only do this at sorcery speed though. Still, that's a pretty cool land. And I like the artwork on it. Currently, that's my favorite pull so far. Necrobite, I have a decent number of copies of this, but it is definitely a fun card. Not gonna say no to that. Definitely a top pull. Death Touch and Regenerate. Nimbus Oh my god, there is no way I'm going to get this. Naiad? Naid? I don't know. Let's just go with Nimbus. Nimbus is a 2/2 for 3. It has bestow 4 in a blue, which is pretty expensive, but it gives a creature flying when you do it, and the enchanted creature also has +2/+2. So, I mean, a little bit expensive, but decent. In fact, I'm going to put a top. Why not? Gibbering Barricade. Nightmare Wall. Ooh, that's an interesting combination. Defender. Pay 2 and a black. Sacrifice a creature. You gain 1 life and draw a card. I like it a lot, actually. I just finished my sacrifice deck again. Alright, well, you know what's going to happen? I'm just going to eventually have to build another sacrifice deck, and then I'll put this in that. Definitely a top pull, though. Weapon Surge. Pay red, instant, target creature you control gets +1/+0, and gets first strike until end of turn. And you can overload it for 1 and red. Ooh, shoot. That's pretty good. That goes to the top. Deafening Clarion. You can choose either or both. Deafening Clarion deals 3 damage to each creature. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. It's an interesting spell. Definitely very versatile. I like it. Gitu Chronicler. Kicker 3 in a red and 1 in a red to play it. So that makes a total of 6. 2 red and 4 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, if it is kicked, you get to return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Otherwise, you're just getting a 1/3. You go to the middle, because your effect is good, but you cost a lot. Fae of Wishes has the adventure, which is nice. I do like adventure cards occasionally. Not all of them, but mostly just because I like the idea of the split card. I like Omen cards a lot better than adventure, though. You may choose a non-creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Well, this one isn't useful at all in Commander. That's not a legal move. Flying, discard 2 cards. Yeah, you just go to the bottom, unfortunately, because I don't play... Ooh. Azurius Cluestone. I like that artwork. Add white or blue... Pay blue and white, tap it, sacrifice it, draw a card. It's decent, for sure. Definitely useful. And versatile. Ooh, double card. Farm, destroy target attacking or blocking creature. Market, Aftermath. From your graveyard, you get to draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Decent. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a top, because it has instant speed on that first one. Vashino Grappler. Pay a green, this thing gets trampled until end of turn. It's a 3/1. Looks old school. 91 to 2000. Nice. That makes it fit just inside the rankings that we are looking for. And we finish with a Greypelt Refuge. When it enters, you gain a life. Nice. Very nice. This was a good pack. No legendaries, but I'm not going to complain about that because we got some seriously good stuff out of that. Alright. Stack this, just in case we need a space for a legendary, though. And by just in case, I mean hopefully. Pack number 2, coming at you. Let's see where we go. On with the show. Kaiba wants me to make this video fast. And I want to make one more video because Dad is out. So I can keep my voice nice and loud for you guys. You don't have to crank your headphones. I apologize for the jumpstart your days this week, but I really wasn't sure if I was going to get out or not. I wasn't sure if he was going to go out or not, and I didn't want to make you guys miss a video. Anyways, Forbidden Friendship. Create a dinosaur creature token with haste and a human soldier creature token. The two looked at each other and neither fled. I see, the soldier murmured. We're both just fighting for survival out here, aren't we? That's an interesting card. I like the artwork on it, too. I'm going to top that just because of... I'm going to mid it because it's sorcery speed. But I definitely like the... No, you know what? Flavor and art, you win me over. You're not as good as most of the cards in the top, but I'm going to put you there anyways just because of the flavor and art. Sentinel Spider, Vigilance Reach 4/4 for 5. You can't complain about that. That's pretty damn solid. Settle the score. Exile target creature. Put 2 loyalty counters on a planeswalker you control. Ooh, that's pretty nice. You bound me with a contract only your death could end, and you thought me the fool? Liliana Vess. Nice. Pretty. Definitely a good card. Salvage Scout. 1 for a 1/1, pay it white also to sacrifice this and return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. In the right deck, that's very useful. I'm going to put it top. Darnheart Rejuvenator. Enters, you get 3 life. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. I mean, it's a decent mana dork, but it costs a lot to put into play for a 2/4. I mean, you're getting all the... I'm not saying you're not getting value out of this. You're definitely getting value out of it. It's just... Are you going to put this in your deck compared to other mana dorks? I'm going to admit it because I don't think you will. Improvised Armor. Enchantment. Enchant creature gets +2/+5. Costs 4 to put into play, but damn, +2/+5. I like it. Mid for sure. I wish it gave something else. That's the only thing. Ooh, I got an extra copy of X-Bane Ferox. He is a solid pull. This thing's insane because of the extra ward on it. So you get Death Touch and Haste, a 4/4 for 4. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the card that I was talking about earlier that has a lot of value, look at the value compared to this. So you're paying the same mana cost, except it's 1 extra forest compared to 1 extra colorless. But in exchange, you're going to get a Death Touch Haste 4/4 versus a 2/4 with no ability except for Mana Dork, and you gain 3 life. And in addition to that, anybody who wants to target this thing has to exile a card or multiple cards to the point where they get mana value 4 from their graveyard or greater. Like, that's just ridiculous. You beef this boy up, and you leave him on the field, he's just going to dominate. Ovenize. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1. Shoot! That is painful. Ooh, a Territorial Scytheclaw, too. Nice pack. This is one of my favorite landfall creatures because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then the trample effect just makes more sense. I'm not sure if I have one of these in my cat deck. If I don't, I definitely am going to add it. Nice pull. Pegasus Cursor. Flying. When it attacks another target attacking creature, gains flying until end of turn. Okay, that's just awesome. I know exactly what deck I'll put that one in when I eventually revamp that deck. It is awesome. Magma Spray deals 2 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. For 1, that's worth it. Nice! More goblins. Scuzzback Marauders. Trample and Persist is a 5/2, costs 5 to put into play, but when it dies, it comes back with a -1/-1 counter and becomes a 4/1. And yeah, pretty decent. I like it. I'm not going to complain about that. Actually, you know what? We're going to put it mid, just because it does have kind of a low toughness. Glimpse the Sun God. X and white. Tap X target creature, scry 1. That's just fun. I like that. Grasp of Darkness, -4/-4 until on a turn. At instant speed for 2, I'll take that too. And a Tranquil Cove. Alright. I have a lot of Tranquil Coves. So basically, all my blue-white decks are going to get a Tranquil Cove in the near future when I revamp them. If they don't already have one. Because I think that's the most common land I've pulled. In terms of life gain, at least. Pretty solid packs so far. Can't complain about what we've pulled, can we? I'm feeling the strength of the destiny today. Glimmerbell. Nice. Flying, pay 1 and a blue to untap Glimmerbell. Very nice. That is definitely a solid pull for my blue deck that I want to build. Ooh! Pretty! Old school! Direwolves. 2 and a green for a 2/2. Gains banding if you control any planes. That sucks. Because I will never control planes in the deck that I want to put this in. So I'm going to have to put this in a completely different deck just because of that reason. And that's sad. But I still like this card a lot. It's amazing how scared a city kid can get at a dog. Now, of course, I'd cross Terracier alone and keep no watch if I had a pack of greys hanging on my flanks as I went. I mean, I always forget what banding is. I'm going to have to look it up again after this video, but I'm going to mid it for now. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to create a special category for old school cards. Right there. Is that still in the video? Nice. We got another old school card. I don't even see a date on this one. 2 and a white for a 2/2 with no abilities. Do you know, I always thought unicorns were fabulous monsters too. I never saw one alive before. Well, now that we have seen each other, said the unicorn, if you'll believe in me, I'll believe in you. Lewis Carroll. Nice. That's really cool. They pulled that right out of a book, then. Because Lewis Carroll's an awesome author. I'm really happy with that pull. Festering Newt. Salamander. When it dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end turn. Or -4/-4 if you control a creature named Bog Brew Witch. Huh. That's very, very specific. Bloodfell Caves. Nice. Life gain. Always a plus. Twisted Experiment. Black and 1. Enchanted creature gets +3, -1. I don't like it when you minus the toughness. Valdekin Scroll Whacker. I don't think this is going to be an illegal one, but it looks like it's got to probably be some sort of unset card, because Guest usually comes with that. As Valdekin Scroll Whacker enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided die twice. Its base power becomes the first result, its base toughness becomes the second result. Okay. If you would roll 1 or more 6-sided dice, instead roll them, and you may exchange one result with the Valdekin Scroll Whacker's base power or base toughness. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if I can legally play this card, but that is pretty cool. If you can, I like it a lot. I'm going to put it top for now. Actually, I'm going to put it mid for now, because I'm not sure if you can play it or not. If you can play it, it would definitely go top, though. Stonewood Invoker gets +5/+5 until end of turn for 8. It's an elf mutant. Green has enough mana that it's probably doable, but still, I'm going to mid that at best. Maybe even bottom it. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. When this thing enters the battlefield, create a colorless servo artifact creature token. Pay 1 and a white, sacrifice this thing, create a colorless servo artifact creature token. I'm going to put it mid because of the white cost. If it was colorless for both costs, I would actually put that top. But that limits you to only being able to play it in at least a deck that has white, which sucks. Hagra Constrictor, Snake, enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Menace. Ooh. We like that. I'm not sure what deck I want to put that in, but that is cool. Invoke the Divine. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and you gain 4 life. Worth it. Urborg Uprising. For 5, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand and draw a card. Okay. Sanitarium Skeleton. 1 to put it into play for 1/2, and 2 in a black to return it from your graveyard to your hand. I like it. Boros Mastiff. 2 for a 2/2, which is a dog, but it's a hound. That's kind of annoying. You won't be able to play it with other dogs then, probably. Whenever this thing and at least 2 other creatures attack, this thing gains lifelink until end turn. And Purifying Dragon. Whenever this thing attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature defending player controls. If it's a zombie, it deals 2 damage to it instead. It's alright. 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 Okay, better stop before we get copyright. Not that I'm big enough that anybody's ever going to notice that. Alright, we got 2 packs left. Our legendary streak might be coming to an end if we don't pull something soon. Knock on some wood. Because we don't want to jinx it. Here we go. Thornwood Falls. Nice. We are definitely pulling some good... Now, here's going to be my question. Are these actually different lands? Or are they just, name different things because they're Lord of the Rings set? But they're actually going to count as, regular something else. So I won't be able to play them in something different. That's my question. That was a really difficult question to phrase. Basically, I know there are lands that are going to have these 2 colors, and they also give me life, and I'm just wondering if those lands are... If this is just like a specially named version of those lands, so therefore I can't play this land, and one of those is what I'm looking at. I don't know that for sure. It doesn't say the other name on there, so I think I'm okay, but anyway. Puppet Conjurer. Black and 1 for a 1/2... Artifact creature, human wizard. That's interesting. Blue, tap it, put a homunculus artifact creature token into play. And at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a homunculus. What happens if you can't sacrifice the homunculus? If I don't have one into play, I can't sacrifice it. What happens? Nothing? It just fizzes? And why do I want to put one into play if I'm just going to sacrifice it the next turn? That seems kind of fun. And by fun, I mean foul. I'm going to admit it. I'm sure there's some sort of thing I'm not thinking of that makes that useful, but... Ooh, Painted Bluffs. Desert. Add colorless, or pay 1, and add 1 mana of any color. Nice. And it's pretty. Very versatile. Lethal Sting. As an additional cost, put a -1/-1 counter on creature you control, destroy target creature. No thank you. Urgent Exorcism. Destroy target spirit or enchantment. That is rather specific. Actually, because of enchantment, I'll omit it. If it was only spirit, it'd definitely go bottom, though. Gibbering Barricade. We just had one of those. What did I do with it the last time? Did I leave it top? Yes, I did. It was definitely worth being on top. I just wanted to make sure. I do the same thing twice. Rugged Highlands, another beautiful life gain land. Ooh, Simic Guildgate in a beautiful artwork. We are pulling some cool Guildgates. That is a deck I'm eventually building. The 10 Guildgate WinCon thing. Nesting Grounds. Add colorless. Pay 1, tap, move a counter from target permanent you control to another target permanent. Huh. Curious how that works. Definitely seems like it would be very useful somehow, but I'm just not sure how right now. Countless Gears Renegade. 2 for a 2/2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you get to create a servo. Decent. I wonder if it counts as sub. If you make it leave, and it comes back in... No, it probably has to see the thing that leaves. I'm going to admit it. Mindreaker. 3 black for 3/3 devoid. When this thing enters the battlefield, you may put a card from an opponent. You may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Huh. You are an odd fellow, Mr. Eldrazi. Saberclaw Golem. 5 for 4/2, and red gives you first strike. I mean, I like your artwork, so I'm going to mid you. Claws of Valkut. +1/+0 for each mountain you control and has first strike. Damn. Frost Lynx. Enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its next untap step. I mean, if you can find a way to flicker that, you can keep something from untapping forever. That's pretty decent. Experiment 1. Human Ooze. 1/1. Evolve. Remove 2 counters from it to regenerate it. I think I have this in a different art form. And I think I like the other art form a lot better than this one. But I'm still going to put you mid because I know you're a good card. Alright, last pack of Destiny. Can we pull the fated legendary creature and keep the streak alive? Here we go. Vampire Envoy, definitely a good one. I eventually want to build an allies deck. I'm just not sure what colors I'm going to use for it. But I definitely like that. Seal of Primordium. Sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's an enchantment that you can sacrifice at any time in theory to do that. It's okay, I like that. Even Reedstalker. Bird Warrior, Flash Flying, 2/3 for 4. I'm going to mid you. Terramorphic Expanse with some beautiful artwork on it. That's pretty gorgeous. What's that from? I'm not sure. I assume the flavor text probably gives me some sort of clue, but I don't recognize that set. Soaring Seacliff. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gains flying until end of turn, and I get to add blue to my mana pool. All pretty solid stuff, except for the tapped part. Woo! Grizzly Bears! That is awesome! I think that's actually worth some money. And even if it's not, it's beautiful artwork. I like this. Don't try to outrun one of Dominaria's grizzlies. It'll catch you, knock you down, and eat you. Of course, you could run up a tree. In that case, you'll get a nice view before it knocks the tree down and eats you. That was difficult to get through. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. Add colorless, or tap and add 2 colorless, but you can only spend this to cast colorless spells, and only if you control 7 or more lands. I like the artwork a lot. We definitely hit the jackpot on lands today. If nothing else, this was a lands day. This thing gets +1/+0 and gains trample until end of turn for 3. It's a 6/3 for 6. I'm going to mid you. That's not great. Titanic Bullvox. Trample, 7/4 for 8, and Morph for 7. You can play this creature face down as a 2/2 for 3, and then turn it face up anytime for 7, instead of paying 8. Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. That doesn't really seem overly worthwhile, to me at least. I like this guy, if I had Snowlands that I wanted to play with. Which I don't yet, but I'm working on that. Thriving Moor, okay. Swiftwater Cliffs, nice. Anti-Cognition. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 2. If If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, instead counter that spell, then scry 2. Huh. I don't think it necessarily has to be the opponent you're trying to counter, so that's pretty good. I like that. Shimmerdrift Vale, that is my favorite snowland that I've pulled like multiple times and can only use one copy of, unfortunately, in a deck. And Breeding Woods. So, no legendaries today, but we pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lands. We pulled an entire pack plus worth of lands today. And they're not bad lands. Like, you can't really... The Shimmerdrift Vale is nice because you get a snow land and it taps for any color. That one, meh. The Duskmoor lands are okay. You're pretty much guaranteed they're going to be coming into play tapped most of the time. Thriving Moor is okay. It lets you pick what you're going to use as your second option. Life Gain land. That one's just insanely cool in terms of the artwork, and I kind of like what it does for the most part, except you're definitely going to be putting it in one very specific deck. Probably. Actually, you know what? That might go really well in my blue deck. Nice. Anyways. That one's insanely cool. Beautiful Terramorphic Expanse. Nesting Ground seems like a nice one. I like the idea that you can move counters from one permanent to another. The only... Oh, wait. Move a counter from target permanent you control onto another target permanent. You don't have to control the second permanent. I can move -1/-1 counters from things that I control to people's stuff. Or I can move finality counters from things I'm like, okay, that land is really, really cool. I like the Simic Guildgate artwork. The Rugged Highlands has a really nice artwork. Painted Bluffs is amazing. Thornwood Falls is nice. Bloodfell Caves, Tranquil Cove, Greypelt Refuge, all life gain lands. This one's a really cool land. Like, I'm just saying, we did not get the legendary. Yeah, our streak has come to an end, don't get me wrong. But I think Destiny did good to us today. Alright, guys. We're going to cap it off there. KO'd Pug. Much love to you all from us to you. Oh, sorry, baby. Didn't mean to disturb you. Much love to you all from us to you. Take care. See you on Thursday.